Good evening. We're going to be very brief. We've got votes going on the floor right now.
Introduce yourselves, please.
My name is Austin Scott. I'm president of the freshman class, and then I'll turn it over to, we've got Diane Black, Tim Scott, and Kristi Noem, other elected leaders of the class. I just want to thank Secretary Geithner for coming and meeting with us, going through the situation. We obviously have a very serious economic situation that we're in right now, and we're here to solve it. And so, as far as we're concerned, everything that we got in there from him is a step in the right direction, that we're having open and honest dialogue and how we move forward.
Certainly. Yeah, one of the most important things that we heard in the room is that we're looking for an equilibrium, where Republicans and Democrats are willing to work together on a plan that makes sense to both sides, i.e. we don't get what we want, but neither side does. From my perspective, one of the things that we heard that I found to be a bit concerning is any conversation around a plan that includes tax increases in order to make this thing work. I think you lose a lot of the Republicans. Finally, we need the specificity and the details from the other side for us to have a serious conversation about any increase in the debt ceiling.
Name, please.
Tim Scott, South Carolina.
Kristi Noem from South Dakota. We had a very good conversation. The Secretary reiterated to us that the President does not have a plan that we can score. And that's truly what we want to do, because you can't compare plans if the President doesn't give us one. For me, that's a failure in leadership. I've been waiting for this President to step forward and to lead on this debt ceiling issue. It certainly is something that he asked us to give a clean debt ceiling vote. He did not. We did not pass that off the House floor. We had that vote as well. And then we're going to continue to ask for that. We need his plan. We need to have the American people in this discussion. They have only 11% of Americans say that they would approve of a clean debt ceiling vote, which is what the President originally asked for. So we really recognize that we have to have reforms. We have to have a plan from this President, and we have to make sure we do the right thing for our country.
And I'm Diane Black from Tennessee, and I want to follow up on what Representative Noem just said. We asked specifically in this meeting, as we asked in the meeting yesterday with the President, for a plan, for a specific plan that could be scored by CBO. The Republicans had put out a plan. It did pass the House. We know specifically what's in that plan, and it has been scored. It's awfully difficult to talk and have a conversation about what we are able to negotiate between the two if there is not a plan. Therefore, I have drafted a letter. A number of my freshman colleagues are willing to sign on to that letter that we will send to the President, and we will ask him specifically in that letter for a plan that can be scored by CBO, and then secondary to that, a plan that if by some chance the debt limit issue is not solved by August the 2nd, what is their next plan on how we handle from that point forward? Thank you.
Can you tell us what you think? Well, first of all, how fast do you think Congress and the White House can come to some sort of agreement on the debt limit? Do you think you can do it by August 2nd? And what you think the consequences will be if you don't raise the debt ceiling by August 2nd?
Well, that's not up to me to say whether we can get to that point of having a conclusion by then. I would hope we would. This is a very serious issue for the country, and I would hope that we would get to that point. But again, if you don't have a plan, one side has a plan, the other side doesn't have a plan, you can't really talk about what you're going to be able to come to a consensus on.
We have votes. We've got to get to the floor. What I'll tell you about that, ma'am, is that we're perfectly willing to stay here day and night to get the job done.
What did the